On this edition of Ultrasound, Year in Rock 99, by your votes, you went to MTV.com and ranked the stories from 9 to 1. Which story will be number 1? Woodstock 99?
This Woodstock was all about money.
Boy bands in control?
Nobody can hold us back.
The rise of the rap rock sound? DMX.
Feel me for who I am, love me for who I am, understand me for who I am.
The sexy girls of pop?
Well, if people view me as being that way, then that's flattering.
The Latin pop explosion? Or the tragedy at Columbine High School?
Usually good kids go here and you never expect this to happen to you.
Join us as we count down from 9 to 1, the biggest stories of the year by your online votes.
The year in rock, 1999.
On the pop tip and the rock tip, I would say that 99 was sort of about having a good time.
Biscuit, boy bands, Britney, big concert that didn't go so well.
There didn't seem to be any groundbreaking kind of music being made where you say, boy, this has never been done before. I mean, the Rage album has a lot of really unusual guitar playing on it, but it wasn't like this stuff was coming at us every week.
I think it was a year of a sort of transition where people are still kind of wondering what the next thing will be.
DMX.
Well, he's the king of hip-hop right now.
He's got a lot of charisma.
DMX, you're thinking sociopathy on parade.
You want to know about him, and hip-hop doesn't have that many figures like that right now.
Number 9 by your online votes, The Mystery of DMX.
I breathe this, I live this, I am this. Feel me for who I am, love me for who I am, understand me for who I am. Because that's all I'm gonna be. Who I am. X.
Keeping in tune with his furious rise to rap superstardom, the elusive, enigmatic, intensely driven DMX started 1999 in the same way he spent most of 1998, on top. Just 6 months after his groundbreaking debut, It's Dark and Hell is Hot topped the charts. His second album, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, entered the charts at number 1, selling over 650,000 copies its first week. Never one to Star Trip, DMX took his success in stride.
Shit like that means nothing to me. It's like, I'm just doing what I'm doing, yo. As long as I keep doing it like that, all that other, I'll hear about it, I'll smile, but I'll forget about it in 5 minutes.
His way of celebrating was to take his hardcore show on the road. First with fellow Def Jam artists Jay-Z, Method Man, and Redman on the hugely successful Hard Knock Life tour, and in front of some 200,000 fans at Woodstock 99.
Sure. I'm telling you this for your own good. Everybody is the man in their own hood.
What I give everywhere. Whether it's 3 in there or 20,000. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give the same, you know, and I get the same back.
DMX's high visibility also opened the door for the expansion of his Rough Rider franchise. The compilation Rough Riders Ride or Die debuted at number 1 in April and introduced the world to a sexy new star.
I'm the newest addition to the Rough Rider family.
All my people thinking I'm delirious, but the love I feel is serious.
But just as the profile of Rough Riders heightened, so have concerns about the camp's top dog. In particular, his hard-partying lifestyle,
You want something to drink?
often volatile behavior, continued scrapes with the law, including separate arrests for assault and weapons possession, and his tendency to blow off countless interviews and high-profile events, including the 1999 Video Music Awards and the Family Values Tour. Some close to DMX, however, have offered some insight into what truly motivates him.
No, I guess the drive for him it's not for fame, and it's not for to be a star or to do this or to do that. He just want to express himself through his art.
In an industry where few hip-hop stars achieve longevity, DMX, with all his passion, pain, and contradictions, will undoubtedly be a compelling figure to watch in the new millennium.
You will not take this from me, baby.
The diva herself, Whitney Houston. It's not done right, it's not right.
Rocker Lenny Kravitz, American Woman. That singular pop icon, Cher. Believe.
It's a great tune, and Cher is a great story.
Cher, you just root for.
I don't think anyone should ever discount Cher's ability to come back yet again.
Since the advent of SoundScan some years ago, it's just expected that some big group, if they're going to put a record out, it has to go to #1, otherwise it's perceived as sort of a failure.
How many artists do we see that, in fact, probably more often than not, is there a strong first couple of weeks and then a significant drop-off after that?
What was kind of nice this year was to see a return to like the old chart way of doing things.
You put the record out there, word of mouth spreads, the record sort of rises slowly.
Not because there's a lot of promotion behind it, but because people actually like the songs. What a great idea.
Number 8, Slow Risers.
Wait, don't help me. Flopsy, Mopsy, no, Foxy. Or is it Missy? Jeez, it's so hard to remember. This is that interpretive dance woman, right? Paula Cole? What? Paula Cole Band? Did I miss something?
Puppy got a new album called Forever. You know if the album don't sell, the next one will be called, how about 3 more months? Come on!
Big deal follow-up albums by such former hitmakers as Puffy Combs, Foxy Brown, Missy Elliott, Paula Cole, and 9 Inch Nails too, all tanked this year. But then there were the old stars who started out being written off, but kept at it and wound up scoring chart triumphs.
Cher's 19th comeback comes roaring at us. I love it.
Apparently, nobody expected another comeback from a woman who started charting hits back in 1965.
What's good about getting older in life?
Nothing.
No, that can't be true.
It is. There's nothing good about getting older.
But this year, with the title track of her totally unexpected dance album, Believe, Cher scored one of the biggest smashes of her career.
I'm going to sing and be fabulous. God willing. It's not right, but it's okay.
Veteran diva Whitney Houston's My Love Is Your Love album got off to a slow start too when it was released late last year, but Houston saved it with 3 chart-topping dance floor remixes.
Was there disappointment on your part when those first numbers came out? No?
No, because I'm still on the charts.
It's true. It's true.
And that's all I have to say.
Also saddled with a near-dead album as 1999 got underway was longtime rock chameleon Lenny Kravitz.
I always have all this opposition, and, you know, I don't fit into any certain box, and people at the record label were, you know, there isn't a song on this album for rock radio. What are we going to do?
I want to get away.
The answer, of course, was Fly Away, which not only became a pop hit, but for better or worse, a commercial jingle to boot. And as Kravitz's born-again career takes wing once more, maybe he'll spare a smile and a wave for Puffy and Foxy and Missy and Paula and all their grounded brethren down below.
My sexy image? Well, people view me as being that way, then that's flattering.
Times Square, New Year's Eve 1999, the definitive Millennium celebration. MTV invites you to Ground Zero to share the party of the century with live performances from Puff Daddy, Christina Aguilera, 98 Degrees, Blink-182, Jay-Z, Bush, Goo Goo Dolls, and more. The festivities begin following the TRL Top 99 of 99 at 7 p.m. MTV, your zero-hour power source.
You're watching MTV's Ultrasound thanks to Subway, the place where fresh is no bacon in my section.
Eat your way into the new millennium with delicious 6-foot party subs and party platters from Subway.
Hold on. 3, 2.
Oh well, 'tis always the next millennium.
Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
Take a breath. Notice anything? Well, if you happen to have a Tic Tac in your mouth, you would. You notice your breath tastes fresh. And people around you would notice your fresh breath, too. Can you breathe without a Tic Tac? Of course. But I wouldn't recommend it.
I think he stands for futuristic style.
Brought a look to the stage that was unlike anyone else.
He's got
Rock
cool
and
blood.
roll is about sound and vision.
There's energy behind
rock
his
and roll
music.
for now,
When
for
the
today.
look
Comes together with the music. Modern, it's retro.
Talking about a synergy that is powerful.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Music is really my source of inspiration.
Ever have that dream where you're driving, introducing the next Celica?
Go!
Have you been the victim of bad gift giving? Has someone given you a sweater that really lights up the room? This holiday season, demand Flu's online gift currency. They send it by email, you spend it on the web, and everyone is happy. Flu's, just what you wished for.
The easiest just got easier. Introducing America Online New Version 5.0. We've spent over $1 billion to create the largest high-speed network. AOL New Version 5.0. So easy to use, no wonder it's #1. Sign up today.
The more stressed you get, the more Arid works against your worst-smelling sweat. Arid, powerful protection against your worst-smelling sweat.
Me and you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it had to be the only one for me is you. Happy together.
Something's gone wrong in the happy-go-lucky world of Nintendo. Introducing Super Smash Brothers, where all your favorite characters go toe-to-toe in one 4-player star-studded slam fest, only on Nintendo 64.
Team Pop Queen Britney Spears.
Fast-breaking genie.
Ex-Mouseketeer.
Christina Aguilera.
I'm a genie in a bottle, baby.
Girl Pop was great this year.
I particularly like Genie in a Bottle.
Drive Me Crazy is a great single.
I really like Genie in a Bottle.
And this year you had the good girls taking a little walk on the bad side. You had, Britney sexing up a little bit, and you had Christina Aguilera asking to be rubbed the right way.
I don't have a problem with it. I think if women are sexy, they should just show it and be sexy, and there's nothing wrong with it.
The reason Britney Spears is up there and Christina Aguilera is up there and the various Mandys, Buffys, and Kims to come because they're unusually good looking. They're hot.
Number 7, Pop-Tarts.
In 1999, America's singing sweethearts were more naughty than nice, blossoming from squeaky clean cutie pies to the sultry Pop-Tarts, cooing and oohing their way to the top of the charts while taking the dare to go bare.
How do you feel about your sexy image? My sexy image? Well, people view me as being that way, then that's flattering.
Britney distressed some, but dazzled more with her Rolling Stone photo spread, while her appearance at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards raised a few, eyebrows.
I actually wore that same shirt in the video, and no one talked about it because it wasn't obviously cold when I was doing the video shoot because we were so hot outside.
I was out on the sand, greased up in like baby oil and shorts and a little cut-off top. I was like freezing, but everybody was like, no, you have to do it. I was like, oh my gosh. It was freezing cold, but it worked, it worked.
Did it ever? 18-year-old Christina Aguilera's voice sounded like the real thing, and she had no problem getting people to listen either.
A lot of people want to perceive it as a sexual song because of the lyrical content. Treat me the right way is really rub me the right way. You don't have to take it as literally as it sounds.
Who, us? Not on your life. Fame gave Christina the chance for a shout-out to one of her all-time idols.
One of my favorite artists of all time, how she inspired me actually, Miss Mariah Carey, who I have yet to meet, so Mariah, if you're out there, we gotta hook up sometime.
reveled in her newly sensualized image, captured on the cover of her new CD, Rainbow.
After like Dream Lover, I was like, okay, can I have a wardrobe change? I used to have to always be covered up, and now it's fun to be able to wear what I want.
That feeling seemed to be shared by Britney's pal, TV's Melissa Joan Hart, who promoted her movie Drive Me Crazy with a bewitching blitz of come-hither covers and foxily undraped poses.
When I was doing Clarissa, though, my personal style was like you said, like tomboy, like you couldn't see anything. I guess I started to dress a little different, I don't know, kind of like a little bit more sophisticated.
But what about the other side of the beauty imperative? TLC combined a dolled-up look with a very different message with Unpretty.
I don't care who's listening to the song. I think that everyone can relate to it. It's about finding the beauty within yourself.
I grew up feeling unpretty because I have small breasts, you know, and that's why it was so important for me to get that across in the video. And hopefully the young girls won't go out and get those breast implants because that's a serious deal, you know, and that doesn't make you beautiful. And TLC also stands for Titty-less Crew. So
TLC is a group that they have something to say.
Yeah, they are saying something really different. They're saying, we hate each other.
I think they'll be around for a while, either individually or as a group, probably individually.
How big is the new Latin pop explosion?
Jennifer Lopez, Ricky Martin,
Mark Anthony, Latin siren Jennifer
We
Lopez.
have an alert for Ricky Martin fans.
Ricky Martin's Vida Loca.
Thank you. Ricky is truly the perfect star for the millennium.
He so loves doing what he's doing.
He has that old showbiz thing. It's like the 40s or something. It's just, I didn't think that was done anymore, kind of a Carmen Miranda thing.
Ricky's not weird. Ricky wants to make you happy. Well, thank you.
Number 6 by your internet votes, the Latin pop explosion.
The so-called Latin pop explosion of '99 has many faces and flavors, but it might never have even happened if it hadn't been for one 4-minute bon-bon-shaking performance that drew a standing O at this year's Grammy Awards. The whole country, Janet Jackson and Madonna included, seemed to get caught up in Ricky Mania. His debut English language album spawned that inescapable mega hit, Livin' La Vida Loca.
I think something very fascinating is happening at this moment. People are willing. People are accepting other cultures. They're daring to feel things they've never felt before.
The Latin pop wave that followed was comprised of artists often more musically different than alike, and yet with a common heritage and a newfound access to mainstream America.
Now, for the single to have gone #1, you have to pinch me. You know?
I'd love to, actually.
I never thought this was going to happen. I never thought the video was going to be played in MTV.
This movement is a positive movement.
And whether related to the movement or just a happy coincidence, there was a huge '99 comeback for one of the godfathers of Latin music.
Santana was one of the first ones to make it happen.
Carlos Santana scored his very first #1 album this year with Supernatural, which found him paired with Matchbox 20's Rob Thomas on the longest-running #1 single of the year, Smooth. According to SoundScan, these artists combined to sell more than 10 million albums. And now, in turn, mainstream pop artists are trying for some crossover of their own.
International market is so important because, you know, when you sell 3 million here, you can sell 12 million out of the United States.
I'm ready to hit the Latin market.
My last name is Aguilera.
Have you recorded in Spanish before?
No.
I'd like to record a Spanish album and release it one day.
With America's Latino population estimated at 30 million and growing, with their buying power ever increasing, and with a host of Latino stars with crossover albums on the horizon, the Latin pop explosion would appear to have no end in sight.
We want Latin sounds to be a way of living, not a quote-unquote trend.
Latin music adds something that we're not getting out of, like, hip-hop or thrash or teen pop, although teen pop is appropriating some of it. I mean, it just adds a certain spirit that we don't have. Why not? It's good to have it around.
I'm not convinced yet that we have laid the foundation for long-term mainstream Anglo-America careers for all these people who've had hit singles. You know what I mean?
We're not puppets. God told us we are the masters of our own, destiny.
Attention passengers, Flight 2K has been cleared for takeoff. Flight 2K, the Mile High Club just got a few new members. TRL, Monday, December 20th.
Are you one of the millions of American males who would like increased sexual energy? If you've been considering Viagra as a solution, consider something different. All natural Enerx. Clinical studies show various ingredients.
Call 1-800-248-0072 toll-free, and it will be delivered discreetly to your home. Get results using the safe, all-natural alternative, Enerx.
This holiday season, make a date with Deuce.
I have a sleeping disorder.
Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo.
I've always wanted to try soup, but there's the fear of drowning.
Rated R, now playing.
He's not a kid. He's a shock absorber. He gives his all, so give him Sunny Delight with calcium. As much calcium as milk and a source of more vitamins than the next leading chilled juice drinks. Because bikes are made of steel. Kids aren't. Reach for the good stuff. Reach for the sun. Sunny Delight. Kickball. 5th grade versus 6th. They give their all, so give them Sunny Delight. A source of more vitamins than the next leading chilled juice drinks. Because it's not just about fun. It's about bragging rights. Reach for the good stuff. Reach for the sun. Sunny Delight.
Ooh, love the sweatshirt.
Old Navy.
Performance fleece.
It's always in good taste.
The holidays make me feel so warm and fuzzy. That's just a performance fleece.
Hurry in for our item of the week. Performance fleece hooded sweatshirts for the family.
Now, boys, we talked about this.
Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Kangaskhan, Golem, Caputo, Meowth, Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff.
If that's how your kids talk, then come to Burger King. Now every Burger King Big Kids meal comes with a Pokemon toy and trading card or Master Trainer trading card sheet.
The Rock can't believe this little Rudy Pucciabroni has stolen all the Rock's signature moves.
He walks like the Rock. He talks like the Rock. He's got the rock bottom, the people's elbow, the people's eyebrow.
That's gimmick infringement.
That ain't right.
He's even got the millions and the millions of the Rock's fans playing this video game.
The Rock, know your role and shut your mouth. Over 50 WWF superstars, all their signature moves and talks, plus entrances, cage matches, and create a wrestler. WrestleMania 2000.
You like pancakes?
THQ.
Times Square, New Year's Eve 1999, the definitive Millennium celebration. MTV invites you to Ground Zero to share the party of the century with live performances from Puff Daddy, Christina Aguilera, 98 Degrees, Blink-182, Jay-Z, Bush, Goo Goo Dolls, and more. The festivities begin following the TRL Top 99 of 99 at 7 p.m. MTV, your zero-hour power source.
Welcome back to Ultrasound, Year in Rock 99. We're counting down the 9 biggest stories of the year by your online votes.
Fans line up in legions.
The sci-fi thriller
Matrix.
The Matrix.
The new ultra-low-budget
psychological horror flick.
Blair Witch Project.
Star Wars
Episode 1. Menace. Surprisingly mixed reviews
are already in.
It was a great year for movies.
My absolute favorite movie of the year, just because I'm sort of a sci-fi geek, was Matrix.
Keanu rules. Keanu's the greatest. I love Keanu Reeves.
You got the sense that like a lot of performers were sitting on their sofas, you know, watching SpectraVision and seeing The Matrix and like, I want that for my video.
Whereas, you know, the Star Wars movie had influenced nothing.
The way you could tell it was an artistic disappointment was the lack of success of the ancillary items.
You still see that crap in stores. I was in a bookstore the other day, and it was like some fucking sword or something. I don't know.
It just wasn't fulfilling or fun or interesting or anything that it promised to be.
Number 5, millennial movies.
Unless you consider the success of LFO to be a sign of the impending apocalypse, premillennial tension wasn't a pop presence in '99. But life was different in the movies, which produced lavishly realized riffs on the future or on a world beyond our own. Leading the way was The Matrix, the Wachowski brothers' provocative, visually daring drama that offered a complex view of post-apocalyptic reality.
The Matrix is a metaphor for the world around us.
Some of the year's most memorable action sequences, and Keanu Reeves at his iconic best. The Sixth Sense also offered otherworldly pleasures. It came on like a Bruce Willis dispenser and ended as something very different indeed, a stirring tribute to the gifts we all possess, courtesy of an astonishing performance from a young actor.
I see dead people. It scares me more than it does the big gory movies because it's more of a realistic feeling instead of just killers cutting people's heads off. It had more of a soul to it. It had more of a story.
Other fresh faces were on the big screen, from American Pie to Varsity Blues. But the freshest face of all might have been Heather Donahue's, frozen in terror as she rocked '99's mega-successful, no-budget mock doc, The Blair Witch Project.
I'm so scared.
Blair Witch's web-driven guerrilla hype was a welcome alternative to the leviathan that was The Phantom Menace, which may have disappointed some, but made a brickload of bucks all the same, and gave us all a vision of what the future will truly bring: 2 more films in the Star Wars series.
Tino Ramos. Former New Kids on the Block.
We do have some NSYNC news for you.
Speaking of streaming fans,
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys.
As much cheese as people want to associate with this whole boy band thing, every now and then a great pop song can change the rules.
I Want It That Way is one of those classics that everyone seems to agree on.
That's like the I'll Be There of boy bands in the late 90s.
I Want It That Way is I think a really well written and well done pop song.
It'd be nice if the groups themselves wrote some song that had something to say, whereas I don't believe that they have anything to say whatsoever, except to their lawyers, perhaps.
Number 4 by your online votes, boy bands in control.
Nothing defined pop music in 1999 like boy bands. But today's crop of teen idols would have us believe that they are a different breed. Artistically, financially, and image-wise, these boys are discovering that success can equal control.
Hey, Backstreet's back!
This is overwhelming. It's amazing. Thank you all so much.
With a Times Square launch for their second album, Millennium, the Backstreet Boys sold a phenomenal 1.1 million copies in their first week of release, shattering the previous SoundScan record for single-week sales held by Garth Brooks.
This album is a couple of giant steps for Backstreet Mankind, so to say, in where we want to go.
Millennium was accompanied by mega-budget videos, and the boys made history once again by selling out their entire North American tour in 1 hour.
Look, I will run down the street naked, 10 degrees below zero in New York City for Backstreet Boys tickets.
But all was apparently not happy in BSB land. In October, at the peak of their largeness, the largest group in America announced its plan to leave Jive Records, citing unspecified breach of contract. But in November, the boys had a change of heart and re-signed a 5-album deal worth about $60 million.
When there is ever a successful group or a successful solo artist, it seems like on one label and all the other labels go out and they get one just like it. And that kind of frustrates me.
Backstreet's intention to leave Jive came only weeks after rival NSYNC's announcement to jump to Jive, prompting a lawsuit from RCA and boy band guru Lou Pearlman of Transcontinental Records, who first signed the group.
We're not puppets. Nothing's holding us back. We are the masters of our own, destinies.
It's no accident that NSYNC's next album will carry the name No Strings Attached, but their career strings appear to be rather tangled at the moment. The boys have filed a counterclaim and characterized Perlman as a, quote, unscrupulous, greedy businessman who is, quote, robbing us of our future and even endangering our health. Jordan Knight and Joey McIntyre found there was life after the New Kids as their records were embraced by today's teen audience. And they weren't the only boy pop veterans to find solo success this year. Ricky Martin's breakout English language album helped make him one of the biggest pop stories of the year, while former Take That member Robbie Williams broke America with the cleverly titled The Ego Has Landed. Williams' frank yet unapologetic discussion of past drinking and drug use proved that boy band alumni don't have to be squeaky clean.
I was drinking a bottle of vodka a day and the rest. And that went on for about a year and a half. And then one day I just woke up somewhere in Shropshire in a rehab. And I can remember from then on.
Nor do boy band members have to be straight, as proved by Boy's own Stephen Gately, who came out of the closet, nor even single. Witness Nicholas Shea of 98 Degrees, who is openly dating another teen idol, Jessica Simpson, and the Backstreet Boys, who even brought dates to this year's Video Music Awards. While they seem to be taking control of their careers and they're determined to go forward, legal problems loom for NSYNC, and one ex-boy band member has a bleak outlook on their future.
It will all end really, really messy. And that's the most exciting thing about them. Boy bands hate each other. And when it actually starts to crack, and you can actually see it on the television that they're starting to hate each other and they can't hide it anymore, then that's when the most entertaining thing is out of all the boy band thing, not the songs, not them, is when they start fighting each other and taking drugs.
But current boy band members share a different perspective.
You know, we're going to be around for a while. Sorry.
We're going to try to prove all the critics wrong and have long careers in this business. That's what we want.
If they can go beyond appealing to, you know, a pubescent audience and appeal to the world at large, fine, that'll work. If they can't, it won't. You know, it's just a very old story in music. I don't think there are many surprises in store for us here.
Just wonder why there's not more bands now than ever, because kids now are born into hip-hop and rock at the same time.
MTV's One a Day, Every Day. A brand new video premiere each day in the month of December. We promise they won't be hard to swallow, and they'll make you feel real good every day on MTV.
There's a moment as I bite into a Wendy's classic double with cheese when everything around me seems to come to a stop. My senses focus on that hot, juicy beef and cool, crisp toppings. For that frozen moment, all seems right in the world. Of course, nothing lasts forever. Then again, I can always come back tomorrow.
Wow, this is nutty.
Hamburger bliss. It comes with every Wendy's classic hamburger.
Me and you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, and to be the only one for me is you.
Something's gone wrong in the happy-go-lucky world of Nintendo. Introducing Super Smash Bros., where all your favorite characters go toe-to-toe in one 4-player star-studded slam fest, only on Nintendo 64.
JCPenney. Give the look.
Double your sentiment, your merriment, double your moment of fun. Whoa, double your pleasure, double your fun. That's the statement of the great mint in Double Mint Gum.
Up to 80% of hair color fade is caused by water. So Pantene presents the first pre-washed color sealer. Use it before you shower to help seal in color when it counts. Love your color. Love your hair.
PlayStation.
Attention passengers, Flight 2K has been cleared for takeoff. Flight 2K, the Mile High Club just got a few new members. TRL, Monday, December 20th.
Hi, my name is Detroit rapper Eminem. Hellraiser,
Pimp Rocker,
Kid Rock,
and Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit.
When they write the history of popular culture of the 20th century, they can sum it up in one sentence, which is white kids wanting to be as cool as black kids. That's it.
It's only a natural progression, I think, that the rock-rap hybrid would blow up as large as it did this year.
With bands like Limp Bizkit and Korn and Rage Against the Machine, taking that sort of vital street stuff from hip-hop, fusing it to rock and roll, which is the same thing 20 or 30 years later, and coming up with a very commercial brew.
Hip-hop is like 20 years old, and it's been around. It's not like they were sneaking over to the black side of town to see what's going on there. It was everywhere, so they grew up with it, so it makes sense that it is this way.
Number 3, the rap-rock hybrid.
All the cool white guys act black. They act black and they're black, black, black. A lot of white boys rapping, my God.
My name is
A lot of white guys certainly were doing a lot of rapping this year.
I am the king of rock. There is none higher. Suck at MC. She called me sire.
But then that was nothing new. Ever since Run DMC hooked up with Aerosmith for a hit back in 1986, hip-hop has been exerting an increasingly powerful influence on white rock, especially bands such as Rage Against the Machine and Korn. But this year, what once may have looked like just another rock side dish turned into the main course.
Just wonder why there's not more bands now than ever, because kids now are born into hip-hop and rock at the same time. It's a life, part of your life from the day you're born.
My earliest memories of hip-hop was just like being in the 6th grade. If you could break dance in our school, you would have.
Eminem, Kid Rock, and Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit all started out as provincial white kids with a perhaps not all that promising passion for black rap. This year, though, their differing and distinctive takes on the form turned each of them into a platinum pop act.
I am hip-hop, I am a rapper, but in the sense of my background and how I grew up, it's kind of twisted. I really don't know who I am. I wake up in the morning, go to the mirror, like, who am I today? Am I going to be Ronnie Van Zant, or am I going to be Eric B?
Kid Rock's straight out of the trailer pimp persona has turned him into the David Lee Roth of the late 90s. Fred Durst's ambitions, however, appear to lie more within the music business itself.
Hello, 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 hello. I just became the vice president of Interscope Records. I'm looking for bands, I'm signing bands, I'm trying to make things happen.
Apart from signing bands, Durst is also directing videos, and soon a movie apparently, and ladling out career advice to those less focused.
Do I gotta rap?
Supposed to be a race car driver.
You know what? Hey, listen, it's been real. I'm gonna go be a race car driver.
Unlike the rest of the year's rap-loving white guys, Eminem has no interest in rock fusion. He remains totally devoted to pure hip-hop with its hardcore rhythms and killer rhymes.
The lyrics are just off the hook. I mean, in my opinion, there's not too many people out there that can touch them, if any.
Y'all don't even see through the mist. How the f can I be white? I don't even exist.
I want to have a voice in hip-hop. I want to have a voice. I want to be able to speak and people listen.
Despite all the millions of records Eminem, Kid Rock, and Durst's Limp Bizkit sold this year, some people still find something, well, kind of funny about suburban white kids trying to act black.
I'm pretty fly for a white guy.
But these new crossover stars aren't just Vanilla Ice-style posers, they're genuine products of the rap revolution of the 80s and 90s. And now they, too, figure they've got a right, a birthright, you might say, to walk this way.
Woodstock 99 is a festival pregnant with possibilities.
31 acts for the three-day
It's the
festival.
30th anniversary of 1960's legendary Love Fest.
Ended in chaos and near catastrophe late Sunday night.
I had a great time at Woodstock.
It was hellacious.
I was fascinated and shocked and horrified.
It was like a plane flight, you know. It was like a long time of uninterrupted bliss with like 50 minutes of pure terror.
I think it reflects a lot of anger in a certain segment of the audience.
I think the end of Woodstock was exceptionally negative.
And then there were the people that, you know, days before, some of them getting pierced and tattooed and having fun.
They saw a lot of bands. They met a lot of people.
There were a lot of people, don't get me wrong, who had probably a wonderful time.
I think what was interesting in retrospect was, again, this level of anger and alienation that this well-off white audience felt.
And that's the big question of the year. Why? And I haven't seen anyone really answer it sufficiently.
Number 2, Woodstock 99.
Holy, it's apocalypse now out there.
This is a very dangerous situation. Everyone is trying to get out of here, and I think we're going to go.
Even before the rubble stopped smoldering, the explanations had begun for the mayhem and destruction that had finished off Woodstock 99.
This Woodstock was all about money.
Who knows? There was so much ecstasy and acid and everything else flowing. Who knows what the mentality? It's a lack of mentality.
Come on, Woodstock!
Before it all went bad, Woodstock 99 got off to a cheerful start.
Awesome. This right here is Woodstock 99 at its finest.
And it wasn't long before the time-honored Woodstock traditions were in full effect.
People running around topless and throwing mud all over the place. It's crazy.
The A-list lineup was a litany of the era's best-loved festival acts.
Total devastation. Bloodthirsty maniacs trying to kill me. And I had a freaking good time, too.
But alongside the good-natured debauchery, there was an undercurrent of male aggression, with young women as the all-too-frequent targets.
Just because a girl wants to go crowd surfing or whatever, that doesn't give the guys the right to molest them, you know what I'm saying?
It was disgusting. I was molested, and I hate all men now. And you would do it again? Of course.
8 rapes and sexual assaults during the festival were reported to New York police, who have made an arrest in one of the cases. Excuses for the boorish behavior were far more abundant than the venue's minimal amenities, like free water or toilets.
The shit's coming out of the seats. I mean, that shouldn't be for us.
There was the oppressive heat, the ugliness of Griffith's Air Force Base, and of course, the high prices for food and drink.
You know, at this point, people were so broke and so out of it, they didn't give it. They were getting something out of Woodstock, whether they had to tear it down or hurt somebody.
But do high prices and poor conditions lead to this? Please. Unavoidably, the focus returned to the audience itself and the acts.
They can't have Limp Bizkit and then they come out and say, all right, the crowd's gonna calm down, and then they have Rage Against the Machine come out, all right, you guys gotta calm down, and then Metallica come out. You can't do that.
Many in attendance would cite the set by Limp Bizkit as the moment when the festival's vibe turned from fun to fearsome.
I don't think they should have had people like Limp Bizkit here when we're promoting peace and he gets up there and says, peace.
Dude, it's not our fault. That's all I can say.
Take your Birkenstocks and stick them up your ass.
Birkenstocks? Some Woodstock 99ers seemed like aggros without a cause.
Yes? I'm sick of the Backstreet Boys on MTV Live. I'm sick of that. You know, it's bullshit.
Don't hold back on me.
I'm not holding back. I hate that.
Bands like Bizkit seem to market anger to a young male audience affluent enough to spend $155 for a concert ticket. But were these people really angry?
It's hard to really know. This was pathetic at the very least. Thank God no one got seriously hurt. No permanent damage to any real buildings, but it's inexcusable, the behavior of these couple hundred knuckleheads.
Do you think that aggro vibe had anything to do with what happened?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that that's what drew the large male, white male Abercrombie Fitch population of young, white, male, frustrated, upper middle class. I've been given everything and still I'm mad, but I'm not really sure why I'm mad kind of attitude.
We're 25 feet up in the air, separated from everyone. There's a sea of people, and we had sound difficulties, but from what we saw, it looked like everyone was having an amazing time.
Yeah.
You have no idea that there was anything negative happening.
Is this the end of Woodstock? Don't be so sure. It's still a powerful brand name, and there's still money to be made.
Woodstock 99, goodbye and maybe good riddance.
You go to Woodstock and have an experience you can talk about for 6 months. That's what happened. And people made money, so there'll be another one.
Just don't call it Woodstock. Don't use that dove and guitar logo. It's a joke.
Just name it something else and hope that it's a beautiful day.
There shouldn't be any more Woodstocks in the new millennium. Let's leave it in this century and move on, because who needs it, please? Of course, on January 1st, all of these groups have to leave. And on January 1st, all this stuff has to change. We're tired of all of it.
Times Square, New Year's Eve 1999, the definitive Millennium celebration. MTV invites you to Ground Zero to share the party of the century with live performances from Puff Daddy, Christina Aguilera, 98 Degrees, Blink-182, Jay-Z, Bush, Goo Goo Dolls, and more. The festivities begin following the TRL Top 99 of 99 at 7 p.m. MTV, your zero-hour power source.
You're watching MTV's Ultrasound thanks to Subway, the place where fresh is the taste.
This is great! At midnight, we'll eat our way into the new millennium with this Gigundo party sub from Subway.
And no bacon in my section.
Eat your way into the new millennium with delicious 6-foot party subs and party platters from Subway.
4, 3, 2... Oh well, 'tis always the next millennium.
Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
I'm freezing my off. There's the lodge. I'll make him turn. Wait a minute, the angle's too sharp. Don't be a wimp. I know what I'm doing.
Nice job. Now we're gonna have to call his parents.
We'll use 1-800-COLLECT. Save him a buck or two.
1-800-COLLECT. Now you're being logical.
Oh, baby.
Nice cast.
Hi, Mom.
Use your head.
1-800-COLLECT. Save a buck or two.
Or 3.
In laser tennis, the ball is a sphere of light. The paddle, an atom smasher.
15, love.
Biscuit. The court, an arena of skill with single or double player action.
Hey, Mom.
Laser tennis. Batteries not included. Season 7-Up wishes everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah.
Feliz Navidad.
Birdie, skirty, shooty, clerk, le fume, le fromage, c'est magnifique.
Kurikabate.
And of course, Akbaka Fakacha.
Hungry? Grab a Snickers. That ought to hold you.
Nothing fits like a glove unless it's the new Crest Multicare Flex toothbrush. The only brush with this unique multi-flex head. It fits the contours of your mouth to clean even the most deep down, hard to reach places. The Crest Multicare Flex toothbrush. It fits like a glove.
I don't need that. Oh, yes, you do. Every white man's got to be armed. When the government falls and chaos sets in, who's going to build the future? Who's going to be left standing?
Brotherhood of Murder, only on Showtime.
Here's a gift to thank you for being a DirecTV customer. This season, you can enjoy Mannheim Steamroller in an unforgettable holiday concert from DirecTV. Mannheim Steamroller's home for the holidays. Don't miss Mannheim Steamroller's Christmas Spectacular and discover their music on the web at www.mannheimsteamroller.com. Mannheim Steamroller's Christmas Spectacular, now playing on Channel 103, a DirecTV preview event. It's our way of saying thanks.
You know, they say that ignorance is bliss because you figure, okay, if I don't know, then, you know, fine, I can go along with my life, do the day-to-day thing, not even think about it.
If you don't know, then you're putting that person that you may love in a risky situation.
You know, you want to kind of protect everyone around you. If you're sleeping with someone or, you know, and you care about them, you don't want to give it to them. So, you know, it's best to get tested and know.
Know your status. To find a testing facility near you, call 1-888-BSAVE-1.
The violent tragedy at
Colorado's Columbine High School.
Heavily armed gunmen.
The numbers could hardly be worse.
Numerous fatalities.
Convulsive grief.
Shell-shocked survivors.
It was really easily the most horrifying event of the year, and also an event that kind of allowed you to interpret it in lots of different ways.
I think a lot of people reacted that, you know, this so could be my school.
I think there was something Nazi-like about it that really appalled people. I mean, kids coming to school with bombs and stuff and just blowing people away and laughing about it. It's horrible.
But as we went and talked to this one kid months after what happened, we realized that it wasn't really about how you interpret it. It's just sad. It's just sad.
Number 1, by your online votes, the tragedy at Columbine High School.
Fight for your rights.
The shooting started at about 11:30 this morning.
This is an agonizing situation.
14 shooting victims.
There's 3 dead bodies going up the stairs.
The images from Columbine High School are among the year's most familiar and haunting. Young people running for their lives, mourning their murdered friends, searching for meaning amid it all. Why did it happen? Guns? Godlessness? Inattentive parents? Popular culture? It seemed like everyone was looking for an easy answer. But 7 months later, for one young man, answers are hard to come by, and nothing is easy.
Can't even get into my own damn bedroom. I think I feel a wander ramp out there or something.
Richard Castaldo, now 18, has endured 7 surgeries, 4 months of grueling rehabilitation at a Denver hospital, where he was the last of the Columbine victims to leave. He is paralyzed from the chest down.
Do you feel confident you'll be able to walk someday?
I don't think I do particularly.
So it would be fair to say you feel you're realistic, but you're hopeful? Is that kind of where you're standing on?
Yeah, something like that.
Today, Richard is again taking classes at Columbine and settling into a newly constructed, first-floor, high-tech bedroom.
Turn on shower.
Shower on.
But you don't talk in your sleep, do you? Like, wake up, all these things are going on.
Does anybody ever ask you if it's tough to go out with someone who has the physical challenges that he has?
No one's ever like, oh my gosh, is this hard? But like, my mom's just like, wow. She's just like, I don't know if I could do that. I'm just like, do what? I don't really even see it as like anything at all. It's just Richard.
In 1995, Richard shook hands with the Dalai Lama. He played tuba in the school marching band and even earned a junior black belt in Taekwondo. Then came the early afternoon of April 20th. Richard may have been shot as many as 9 times. As he lay on the lawn behind the school, he played dead until rescuers were able to move in and then summoned the strength to signal that amazingly, he had survived.
I think the SWAT team came and then I raised my hand up and they saw me and they pulled me out of there.
Can you still remember being pulled out by them?
A little bit, yeah.
Has it been really hard for him, what happened to him? Or has he managed to keep his spirits relatively high as far as you can tell?
I think, as far as I can tell, his spirits are pretty high. They seem to be anyways. He doesn't really talk to me about that too much.
Do you have a lot of anger in your heart because of what happened to you, or do you not?
I don't think I have a lot of anger. Not since they're dead. I think if they were alive, I probably would have a little bit more, but I guess since the source of all that killed themselves, I don't know.
We know somehow that what happened to you has pierced the soul of America.
While Richard has spoken to President Clinton on the phone, he hasn't yet accepted the president's invitation to visit the White House.
Guess he's gonna be out of there pretty soon, so.
You better hurry.
I guess better hurry.
But he has gone to Washington. At a Capitol Hill press conference sponsored by Utah Senator Orrin Hatch, Richard spoke about more extensive gun control laws. He's against them.
It seems like they're just rushing to pass more laws when they don't really enforce the ones that they have on the books, so it seems kind of pointless.
Pointless, a word with plenty of resonance for Richard Castaldo. As the country draws its lessons from the events at Columbine, Richard struggles to find meaning in the randomness of his personal tragedy.
I'm thinking there's probably a reason why it happened to me. I just have to figure out what that is, because I'm not really sure right now.
Did you try to figure that out?
Yeah. I'm trying to.
Fight for your rights.
Another year, another
Millennium.
2000.
On January 1st, all this stuff has to change. We're tired of all of it.
What would I like to see go away?
I think no more poetry from Jewel.
All those sort of teen pop groups that aren't really quite good looking enough. If you're really good looking, you can stay, but if you're not quite good looking enough, you should go.
I'm always tempted to just say, can't we all just get along?
And maybe one or two of the rap metal guys have to move on.
Blaming it all on someone else in music, that could go. There is something to be said for saying, I screwed up too. We don't get a lot of that.
All the backup dancers should all go away.
I could do without Celine.
Christina Aguilera can stay.
I know what I'd like to see returned. Angst.
Pop songs ground out by middle-aged fat men down in Orlando, Florida, and foisted on, teenagers to sing. That should stop probably. So that can all go away on January 1st, as I say.
We got stars directing our fate, and we pray it's not too late, 'cause we know we're falling from grace, millennium.
Because I've always been a dry toilet paper guy, and on the film, Barry Sonnenfeld turned me on, to Tux medicated comfort pads. Man, it's like a shower in the middle of the day, man. Stop it with the dry toilet paper, man. Gotcha.
Hey, so we're just getting to the open of the show now, okay?
What kind of grass is this? It seems different from New York grass. It's mushy grass.
It's Latino grass.
Oh, it's part of that Latino cultural explosion.
Yeah.
You guys want to see Fred naked?
Yo. Hey.